.md is a new top-level domain. How can you get your own, and how much will it cost? What other benefits, if any, does this service offer? You are listening to ReachMD, the channel for medical professionals. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Benson. Today we will be discussing the services provided with a .md web address with our guest, Mr. Scott Finlay, Chief Executive Officer of MaxMD. Scott is a graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point. After leaving the Army and before starting MaxMD, he served as Managing Director for both the North American Equity Trading and Global Equity Finance divisions of Lehman Brothers. So, Scott, what's up with MaxMD? It is a sole licensing agency for .md web addresses?
That is correct. MaxMD owns the exclusive marketing rights to the .md domain in over 90 countries around the world. And although we own the exclusive rights, we have created partnerships with organizations like Draft FCB Healthcare, New York City advertising company that has a closed-loop marketing business for healthcare, Answers Media Inc., which is an interactive media company which has a specialty in healthcare. We've also partnered with the Southern Medical Association, which is an organization in the southeast United States which has over 35,000 members in 17 southern states. And we also have a partnership that we're developing with VeriSign Inc., which is the registrar of .com, as well as registrars in Germany, the UK, Australia, and Japan. So we have licensed some partners. Mostly they're organizations that focus on healthcare, and they have a healthcare orientation.
So let's assume that I think this .md top-level domain name is actually pretty cool. And let's assume that I actually want to get one for myself. How much does it cost? What do I get for my nickel, et cetera, et cetera?
I'm glad you asked the question about how much it costs. First off, you go to max.md to register a .md domain name. Let me just sort of explain the history. We created a price point of $150 for a registration about 4 years ago with the intent of preserving valuable Internet real estate for healthcare market participants. And what we have done is that price point, we started to backfill the value proposition. Our intent, again, was to dissuade speculators. We were aware of the domaining industry. You know, domaining, in essence, is a practice of buying up valuable Internet domain names and arbing the AdSense campaigns of the search engines. So what we did was you try to create a price point, and then we started to backfill the value proposition. So what do you get when you purchase a .md domain name? Well, you receive one secure .md email account, which allows you to communicate securely anywhere on the web. You also receive one secure webmail account so that you can access your email when you're away from your desk. And you receive a .md secure instant messenger, which basically creates a networking capability domain-wide where you can communicate with any other .md domain name holder securely. In addition to those tools, we also provide you with a free website. It's a simple website with 10 megabytes of free storage, and up to 5 links or documents can be placed on that, or a photo. It basically establishes a simple Internet presence for those that don't have the budget or the inclination for a more detailed or expensive website. We don't think doctors need e-commerce sites. Doctors need a simple website so that they can be found on the web. We've also created a .md verified physician badge, which is an interactive badge that improves the search engine optimization of your score of your website. We also do some search engine optimization work so that you can be found. And at the end of the day, we also do, if you already have an existing website, we provide you with free URL forwarding, because sometimes we hear doctors say, well, I already have a .com, so why should I own a .md? Well, we particularly believe doctors should have their own name .md, because doctors are in fact a brand. If you understand how people find doctors, I mean, when a new mom's looking for a doctor for her baby, she goes goes out into the community and she finds out who's the most trusted doctor. They don't say go to the Eastside Clinic. They say, oh, go see Dr. Benson. He's a good doctor. So we think of doctors as a brand. We want them to reinforce the brand. We think that all the tools reinforce them as a brand. Secure email, for using you, Dr. Benson, as an example, if your domain name was michaelbenson.md, your email address would be drbenson@michaelbenson.md. Very little chance that that would be mistaken for spam or anything else, and very unusual that it would be deleted or as unread.
What if the doctor wanted a more elaborate website? Is that something you also offer?
What we have done is we have partnered with some organizations who specialize in building websites, and we can give doctors or point them in the direction of some companies that we feel are very reputable. Swarm is a great company. Their actual business is they produce animations as well as websites for the healthcare community. And we have new clients coming on all the time. Cyrus Online has just recently created a relationship with us. But there's a range. So we can give you a range if you want to spend X to create a website, but if you really want to go all the way up the scale, we have many options for you to do that.
If you have just joined us, you are listening to ReachMD, the channel for medical professionals. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Benson, and my guest is Mr. Scott Finlay, Chief Executive Officer of MaxMD. We are discussing the services provided with a .md web address. What if there's several physicians in my practice? You said it's $150 just to get a domain name for one. What if I have several physicians?
The .md domain name comes with one free secure email account, but you can purchase multiple domain names if you wanted all of those domain names to resolve to your website. Fact is, that's a pretty common business practice. Microsoft, as a company, has somewhere around 20,000 domain names that all resolve to the same site. So if you wanted to purchase more secure email accounts, we have a practice package, which you could purchase in groups of 10 additional email accounts. Each email account comes with a secure IM and a secure webmail client, so you get every one of your doctors would have their ability to communicate using a secure email. I want to talk really about the value proposition. When you consider that you get search engine optimization, secure email account, secure instant messenger, secure webmail, a simple website with 10 megabytes of free storage, opportunity for links, and let's just say a practice package of 10 email accounts, that's 11 email accounts for $330 a year to communicate securely anywhere over the web. That is a quarter of the cost of anything available in the marketplace in terms of secure communication. If you were just to purchase 10 email accounts, just 10 secure email accounts, nothing else, that generally runs anywhere from $1,000 to $1,250. So our focus has, again, been to focus on doctors, focus on their practice, help them establish their online presence, and be able to communicate. The idea of communication isn't simply with patients, but to be able to communicate with their insurance company, to be able to communicate with the labs and the pharmacies that they do business with on a daily basis. This starts to make a lot of sense.
What about the cost? You said it was $330?
So it would cost you $330 to have a domain name, a secure email account, a secure webmail client, a secure instant messenger, a free website with 10 megabytes of free storage, the verified physician's badge, search engine optimization, and then 10 additional email accounts, $330 a year, or about 8 cents a user a day.
What about that search engine? You kind of glossed over that, but that might be important. What about search engine optimization? Can you explain that?
It is very important. That's usually the second question, or the first question after somebody gets a website built. They say, well, then how do I get found? We do some search engine optimization work, and the best example I usually give is we have a physician out on the West Coast, Randy S. Harris. If you Google Randy S. Harris, he will come up number one out of 2.3 million returns. All that really is that we do some extra work. We create some links between your site and our site to help you be found.
Yeah, but I thought on Google you have to kind of slip them some money to come up number one.
No, there's actually two ways that you come up number one. On the right-hand side of Google, you can pay for your position, but on the left-hand side, that's really a function of search engine optimization, and some of the fees for search engine optimization are pretty expensive. But for a simple website like Randy S. Harris, we have a couple of neat little tools, and it seems to work very, very effectively. We get most people up on the first page of the search engine results. It has to do with basically being specific.
So, in other words, you have some programmers who know the search engine algorithms.
We have figured out some unique tools to actually get some people up in the search results, and we're pretty, it's pretty powerful. Perfect example is, Randy's website. It's very simple. It has a picture of Randy. It has his address. It has his contact information, his secure email address, has a verified physician badge. But, the results speak for itself. 1 out of 2.3 million. It's not like his name is pretty unique.
No, it's pretty common.
Pretty common. So 1 out of 2.3 million is a pretty good result.
If I do the package for the $330 and get 10 secure email sites, will each of the doctors have their own little website, or it's just one website for however many doctors you have?
If you buy additional email accounts, they go to that domain. So, for example, we would recommend, let's say michaelbenson.md. Your email address would be drbenson@.md. We would also recommend that you create an email account called claims@michaelbenson.md. We've done a lot of learning around this. For example, Blue Cross Blue Shield New Jersey, their only ability to communicate with doctors in New Jersey is through phone or fax. It takes 36 days on average to settle a claim with Blue Cross Blue Shield New Jersey. That's 6 days inside the insurance company and 30 days playing phone tag. By creating that claims@michaelbenson.md, now you can put anything in there that is PHI and relative content to the claim, the fact pattern, if you will, send it to them, and then only information that comes back in that account is claims-related data. I have a good buddy who runs a practice out here in New Jersey. He has 4 people that track down claims. They all work part-time. These are sort of productivity gains that you could generate just simply by intelligently using your 10 accounts. If you wanted to create 10 specific, we would tell you to buy a domain name for each doctor. That domain name is permanent and portable no matter where he goes for the rest of his life. If he's a young doctor and he comes out and he goes to a hospital and he goes to another hospital and he goes to a big practice or a small practice, michaelbenson.md is going to be his domain name, and the basis of his email, we call it a permanent and portable address, and it's a professional address. The chances of that being misunderstood are little to none. The fact is, who would delete an email from their doctor?
I want to thank Mr. Scott Finlay, Chief Executive Officer of MaxMD, who has been our guest. We have been discussing the services provided with a .md web address. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Benson. You have been listening to the Clinicians Roundtable on ReachMD, the channel for medical professionals. We would really like to hear from you. For comments and questions about this program or suggestions for other shows, send your email to xm@reachmd.com. You can hear podcasts of this and other programs as well as get show schedules on our website at reachmd.com. Be safe, be informed. Thank you for listening.